We're going to be looking at buses in this lesson, following on from the processor last time. And we're going to be recapping memory itself, just so we're all clear on that, and then how the processor is linked to memory. And the thing that links them is called buses, and we're going to be looking at what each type of bus does. So what is backing storage? That's where you save all your files. You've got your classic hard drives, that's a little bit like a record player, and you've got your faster solid state drives that are also a lot more durable. They are more expensive, however, but they're getting cheaper nowadays. These are the things that keep your data even when you switch off your computer. It's where when you press the save button in the top left or whatever, it's where the file gets stored to. But then we've got main memory. That's what is open at the moment. It's anything that's open in the now. And so it stands for random access memory. It is short-term storage. It's used when you're performing calculations, and this could just be, it doesn't necessarily have to be maths, it could just be typing in Microsoft Word. If you're playing a video game, that's another type of calculation that's going on there. There's loads of calculations going on there. And it's used to hold anything that's running at any one time, really. It's considered volatile memory, which doesn't mean it's nasty. Volatile memory in this context means when you turn off the computer, everything is lost. That's why you need to save it to backing storage before it's, well, so you don't lose it. So this is your long-term memory, the same way we have long-term memory, and this is your short-term memory, the same way we have short-term memory. You have lots of memories, but unless it's impactful to you, you don't remember it for the rest of your life. You're not going to remember every single meal you've had. That's going to be lost in short-term memory, unless, I guess, it was a really great meal, and then you'll put it into your backing storage into your long-term memory. RAM is obviously, it's a lot faster than backing storage, but it is, we were talking about registers last time, so which is built onto the processor. It's not as fast as that because, well, it's literally built onto the processor. Saying that, the registers, there's 16 of them. RAM can contain billions of little locations, so that's obviously the advantage there. As I was just saying, can contain billions. Because there's so many of them, every location in RAM needs an address. So it's just, think of a street, they're all numbered effectively. They're numbered in binary, but they all actually have got a number assigned to them, so you can find it, and that's important going forward when we talk about buses. Now, bus in computing is a set of wires which connect the processor to the other parts inside the computer system. There's loads of buses, but we're just interested in the processor and memory buses, these ones here. So let's just kind of jump into it. An address bus identifies a storage location in main memory, and what it will do is it will carry that information from the processor to the memory. So this is what I was talking about. Each one has a location. So the processor, sometimes you need to find say an empty space, or maybe it has to pick something up. So the address bus will travel over this way and look for well, it will carry the number over to go find the location you're looking for. It is one way, which is referred to, and you need to know this word, as unidirectional. The data bus it carries the data to and from the processor and memory. So, but it can actually go back. So this one just finds the address. It finds the empty space, and sometimes this guy comes along with it and it carries the data. I like to think of it as a really bad postal service. So the address bus can say you have a driver who can get to his destination, but he's not physically strong enough to carry his parcels. So he gets the data bus to carry the parcel for him, but the data bus isn't smart enough to get to the destination. That's why they need each other. However, where that analogy kind of falls apart is the data bus is two-way, which means the address bus can find its way home, or sorry, the data bus can find its way home, whereas who knows what happens to this, it just kind of gets here and dies, whereas the data bus can be used, it can go back and forth over and over again. Because it's two-way, it's bidirectional, so a way to remember this is if you have a bike, a bicycle, it has two wheels, that's the bi part. But if you have a unicycle, it has one wheel, so that's your uni here. So uni is one way and bi is two way. The last one, the control bus, it doesn't actually have any direction at all. It's a bit of a weird one. Each of its wires, so you can see there's lots of different wires here, each of its wires does one different thing. All of these wires do the exact same thing, so the exact same address bus, exact same data bus. Each of them do one particular thing. So the main ones you need to know about are read and write. It can read data and it can write data. And when we're saying read or write, what that means is it tells the data bus and the address bus to go find a location and either read data from it, or it tells it to find a location and write data to it. So the address bus, if you're saying to read, it will tell the address bus to find an empty location, and then the data bus will, if you say to read, it will tell the address bus to find a location with a bit of data in it. It will find that bit of data, and then it will get the data bus to take it back to the processor. If you tell it to write, it will get the address bus to find an empty location, and then the data bus will take over whatever it wants. That's your parcel analogy there. So this is kind of like a minor manager. In the same way the control unit is the kind of the boss of the processor, this guy is like a minor manager that just does whatever the control unit tells him to do. So read and write are the two main things you need to know. A weird way to remember this, I got told this years ago by a student actually, I think he's just left now, but it was just so dumb, I'll never forget it. Maybe you guys might find this useful, where a weird way to remember this is to think that a control bus is literate. And when I was told this, it was told like a really bad joke, and I didn't get it. Why is a control bus literate? It's because if you're literate, you can read and you can write. I don't know, maybe that will help you. Here's a diagram again with the directions. So like I said, unidirectional address bus, bidirectional data bus, and this one has no direction whatsoever. And that's it really. Hopefully this was helpful. If you can complete the quiz just to test yourself and let me see how you're doing, that would be great. Right, thank you, bye.